Hey everybody, this is Andrew with B&B Technologies. Today we're going to look over some Delta changes to HP's application lifecycle management from version 12 to 12.2. First we'll look over some slides. They've introduced some new additions, some new supported environments, and some general updates. Then we'll go hands-on and we'll take a look at some changes to the site administration, usability updates, and some big changes to the web client. Okay, first up, let's look at some new additions they've introduced to ALM in version 12.2. They have the HP Quality Center Express Edition. This provides core functionality for test management, including manual and automatic tests and defect management. This license is limited to 20 named or concurrent users. They've also introduced the HP Quality Center Community Edition. This provides core functionality for test management and defect management. This license is free and is limited to 5 named users. New supported environments. They now support Microsoft Office 64-bit versions. New operating systems. They've introduced Red Hat Enterprise and Oracle Linux 7.0 64-bit. And for database servers, they now support Oracle 12.1.0.1. Some ALM general updates. Business models. ALM now supports BPMN 2.0 models exported to XPDL 2.2 files. Lab management hosts. You can now exclude hosts from being automatically allocated to a time slot, limit the host to being selected by name, or limit the host availability to a specific user. Okay, ALM updates continued. Supported environments. They support more environments now, so if you refer to the HP system requirements document on their website, you can see the new environments supported. And integrations matrix. For add-ins, they now offer more integration, more support, so you can refer to the HP integration matrices webpage to see the new support. And I'll include links to both of those in the description for this video. Okay, moving on to business process testing. Run conditions for business components and flows in business process tests. Until business process testing 12.2, you can only create run conditions for business components and flows. Now you can also create run conditions for business components in business process tests and flows in business process tests. Automatic promotion of parameters. You can now promote parameters automatically to higher levels when creating a business component or flow parameter. This option can be enabled or disabled by the project administrator. Automatic deletion of unused parameters. You can now delete unused parameters automatically from higher level flows and tests when a lower level parameter is deleted. For example, if you delete a component parameter, if it's unused at the flow level, it is deleted from the flow also. This option again is enabled or disabled by the project administrator. Changes to manual runner functionality. When running a business process test or flow in the manual runner, any steps whose components run condition was not met are now skipped when clicking next. The step statuses are set to not run, or no run rather, since they have not been run. Admin changes for business process testing. You can now customize more business process testing features. Details of this are in the application lifecycle management guide. And then lastly, integration with Sprinter. You can now author manual business components in Sprinter. And the feature is supported by the following matrix. So in Sprinter 11.5.2 only works in ALM 11.5.2. Sprinter 12.01 works in ALM 12.01 and 11.5.2. And then Sprinter 12.2 works in all three versions, 12.2, 12.01, 11.5.2. Alright, moving on to the site administration. We're going to look at a couple of enhancements they made here. First, we have importing of LDAP users. So we have this little 3-person button here, and you can import from a directory tree or import users by keyword. I don't have a server configured here in my test environment, but if you do, you just walk through the steps and you can import LDAP users. Next up, we have site configuration. So they've added new parameters, and these are all listed on the HP website. But one of the new ones they put in here is the web UI _test _management with the default value of yes. So this allows the test module in the web UI But again, for a list of all of them, you can look on the HP website. Okay, we've moved inside of a project here, and let's look at the requirements module. So let's go to our requirements, and let's make sure we're on a tree or grid view. And one of the changes they've made is you can now filter column headers from ascending or descending just by clicking, and then it tells you here by the top. So that's a very nice feature. And again, you can view it in the tree or in the grid view, so either works. So very nice feature there. Next one we want to look at is attachments. So let's open up one of these requirements and say we want to add an attachment to it. So in the attachments page, you can now drag and drop attachments from your email, from your desktop, from your file system. So on my other monitor here, I'm going to drag a text file in. So I've grabbed it, I'm going to move it in here, and as you can see, it automatically attaches it to the requirement. And it can go both ways, so you can also drag out of ALM to your file system. So two-way moving there. And then the last one we want to look at here is some email enhancements. So I don't have email set up on my training box here, but if I did, there's an option to send yourself a copy of the email. And then they've also added more functionality to comments. So they have a nice rich text comment editor down here. Okay, so we've stepped inside of the web client of ALM here. And as you've noticed, I've switched browsers, so now I'm using Chrome version 41. So anything on 37 or above is supported with the web client. So here's the home screen. Has a few great videos if you're not familiar with the web client. First, let's take a look at the big changes here. So they've added a test management technical preview module. And this is pretty great. Before they had requirements defects, but there's no testing. So they're finally branching out and getting the testing into the web client. Now, in order to view this module here, we need to make sure we have the parameter and site admin enabled from earlier in this video. So if you don't have the web UI underscore test underscore management enabled, then you can't see this technical preview. So if this is something that interests you, make sure to rewind the video a bit and go into site admin and add that parameter. Okay, so in this module here, we can see that we can find our tests, test sets, or environments. So it's pretty straightforward. We have all of our information here, and it's everything that you would find in the desktop client of ALM for testing, but it's here in the web client. Okay, so let's take a peek at the traceability here. So if we want to add traceability to one of our tests, we'll add requirement coverage, and a new feature they added here is the pane that comes up. So they give you a window here just to make it easier to see what you're linking it to. So this is a really great feature. It just makes it easier for the users. Okay, and then also they've added new customization features. So let's take a peek at these really quick. I'm going to go into the Rules tab, and we'll add a rule. And what they've done is they've added in the conditions. Let's see here if I can find it. So they've added a validate action. And you can create the validate action condition. You just use, we'll say, comments, operators. You have empty is modified, so we'll say is modified. Then you can put and ors in here. So we'll say and if the creation date is equal to, let's say, today. And then down here we have our description. And if this condition's met, then our action, our validated action will pop up and just tell us that this is a test message. So hit OK on that one, and then down at the bottom we can go ahead and turn this on or off. So for now we'll leave it off. Okay, lastly for the web client, I hopped over to the tests part of the test management module, and I just wanted to show you that they've introduced a new feature to select all. So this is a great feature if you want to edit more than one step at a time. And this is kind of a recurring theme. So in the future you should be able to select all in this view and edit multiple items at once.